What is the consistency principle? Well, let us explore. Taught my son how to use the consistency principle. Mom called from work and my son asked, "Hey Mom, do you want an easy night?" "Yes," she answered. "Great, let's get a pizza for dinner." Later that night, we bonded over pizza. Okay, be honest. How many contacts in your phone are just acquaintances? People who seem to forget to return your text. You want real friends, the kind you can text a terrible meme to at 2 p.m. But how do you get from, "Hey coworker," to, "Hey friend, that was fun last night"? Turns out there's a secret ingredient. And no, it's not just remembering their Starbucks order, though that's a solid start. It's a psychological superpower called the consistency principle, courtesy of a very smart social scientist named Robert Cialdini. Think of it as the friendship cheat code that's not a cheat, because it's just about being a good, slightly predictable pal. Let me explain. Why your brain craves a predictable pal. So, the consistency principle is this. Once people take a small action or make a choice, they feel internal pressure to keep acting in ways that align with it. Nobody wants to feel like a flaky, self-contradicting waffle. We like to feel like we've got our stuff together. Now, apply this to friendship. At its heart, friendship is just two people repeatedly choosing each other, one text or conversation at a time. Consistency is the glue. Here's the brain magic. When you're consistently you, the you that's a good listener, the you that sends a funny cat video after a hard day, something amazing happens. First, you become predictable in the best way. Your friend's brain goes, "Ah, there's Sam, sending me a picture of a pug in a raincoat. Right on schedule. My world makes sense." That predictability? That's trust. It's the opposite of, "Wait, what's their deal?" Second, they start to see you as part of their story. You're not just Sam from the gym. You're Sam, my friend from the gym who always asks how my cactus is doing. You've earned a title. You're in the narrative. The low-pressure fun launchpad. So how do we start? Not with, "Be my best friend, sign here." We start with what I call the low-pressure fun launchpad. Step 1. The tiny, no-sweat invite. This new food truck has tacos called The Heat. We morally have to try them. Or, "I'm going to attempt the botanical gardens and will probably get lost. Want to be my navigator?" It's silly. It's specific. It's low stakes. They say yes. Great. Now, the most important part. Follow through. Have fun. Don't be a ghost. This is the launch. Step 2. The consistency boomerang. A few days later, you throw the vibe back. "Our regret taco adventure has me brave enough for the new sushi place. You in for round 2? You're not asking a stranger to sushi. You're asking your fellow taco survivor. You're linking the new ask to the past. Positive, we have fun together. Identity, they just agreed to. You're helping them be consistent, to being your friend. The drip feed of delight. Now for the main event, the drip feed. This is the passive, powerful stuff. This is you becoming a reliable source of good vibes. You always laugh at their slightly offbeat joke in the group chat. Consistently supportive. You always remember they hate cilantro. Consistently attentive. You send them a link to that weird documentary about competitive snail racing you talked about. Consistently you. This isn't being a robot. This is being a reliable friend. You're building a rhythm. They start to expect your brand of kindness. And when you have a tiny lapse, because you're human, they'll think, "Huh, Alex must be swamped." Not, "Alex is ghosting me." You've built up trust equity. The golden rule. This only works if it's real. If you're not a documentary person, don't send documentaries. Be consistent to your best self. The goal is to attract your people, not to impersonate a friendly pod person. When you ask questions, always start with low stakes, like my son asking his mum wants an easy night. Your mission, should you choose to accept it. So, your mission this week, from the Department of Friendship Science. Pick one person. The one you think might also love bad 80s music, or has a dog with a grat name. Make one tiny, joyful, consistent move. Send them one song, one meme, one, "This made me think of our taco disaster." And then, do it again later. Not in a creepy way, in a, "Hey, I'm a constant cool satellite in your orbit way. Watch the magic happen. You're not manipulating. You're architecting opportunities for friendship to grow. You're giving them the easiest, most delightful yes in the world. The yes to more moments with someone who's consistently great to be around. And that someone is you. Now go forth. Be predictably awesome. Now let's look at a tool of consistency. The improv yes. And have you ever walked away from a conversation feeling heard, connected, and just lighter? Did you and the others build something wonderful together? Now, contrast that with a conversation where you felt shut down. It feels deflating, right? Like you're separated by a canyon. We're going to explore a magical piece of conversational wisdom from an unexpected place, the world of improv. It's called yes and we'll see how it's secretly powered by a core principle of consistency we have been talking about. More importantly, we'll learn how this powerful combo is a masterclass in building real, lasting friendships. First, let's understand the rule. In improv comedy, yes and is the sacred law. If your scene partner declares, "Captain, the aliens have turned the moon into cheese," you don't stop and say, "That's impossible." You affirm their reality, that's the yes. Then, you build upon it, that's the and. You might add, "And they're eating it with giant crackers. Our mission is now a fondue rescue." The scene moves forward, together. Now, enter Dr. Robert Cialdini's consistency principle. The improv yes and taps into beautifully is the principle of consistency. Cialdini found that people have a deep-seated desire to be consistent with what they have previously said or done. It's a mental shortcut. We see ourselves as the kind of person who keeps their promises or sticks to their commitments. Acting inconsistently feels unstable, even to our own self-image. So, how do these two connect? Think about it. When you use yes and in a normal conversation, you're doing two profound things. First, the yes. You are validating the other person's perspective. You're not necessarily agreeing with a factual opinion, but you're accepting that their thought, their feeling, their joke is a legitimate offering to the conversational stage. You're saying, "I see you, I hear you, your contribution matters." That validation is the first commitment. It's a tiny social agreement. We are now collaboratively building this conversation. Then comes the and. This is where the consistency principle kicks into gear. Having just accepted their offering, the yes, you now feel a subtle psychological pull to follow through and build on that shared reality. You've started a cooperative path. To suddenly negate or contradict would feel inconsistent with the collaborative stance you just took. You've created a virtuous cycle. Acceptance leads to a small commitment to the interaction, which creates consistency pressure to build, which leads to more acceptance, and on and on. Now, let's translate this to friendship. Friendship isn't built on grand declarations. It's built in thousands of tiny moments of connection. Yes, and is the tool that architects those moments. Your friend says, "Ugh, I'm so stressed about this work project." A no, but response might be, "You think that's bad? Let me tell you about my week." That builds a wall. A yes and response is, "Yes, that sounds overwhelming, and it makes sense you're stressed. You've been putting so much care into it. Want to vent about it over coffee?" You accept their emotional reality, yes, and you add support, empathy, and an invitation, and. If that sounds artificial and not true to yourself, it is just a way of reframing. The first answer, and simply reframe, is in a yes and. "Yes, I see you think it's bad, and let me tell you about my week so we can share in the bad." Your friend shares a wild idea. "I've always wanted to learn to salsa dance." "What are you, dumb? You have 2 left feet." Shuts it down. "Yes, that sounds amazingly fun, and I saw there's a beginner class downtown next week. Should we look it up?" You've joined their excitement and become a co-conspirator in possibility. Every yes and is a small deposit in the emotional bank account of your friendship. It communicates, "Your world is interesting to me. I am on your team. Let's explore this life together." It transforms conversations from transactions or debates into collaborative creations. You're no longer just exchanging data, you're building a shared story. And what is a strong friendship, if not a story you write together, full of inside jokes, mutual support, and understood chapters? So, the next time you're in a conversation, especially with someone you'd like to know better, try the yes and mindset. Listen to accept, not to rebut. Add a piece of connection, not a correction. Validate, then build. You'll be harnessing a fundamental law of human psychology, our desire for consistency. Not to persuade, but to connect. Not to win a scene, but to build a bridge. And on that bridge, you might just meet a friend,